If you think every rock tragedy is about drugs, think again. Some of the most shocking losses came out of nowhere: dark roads, foggy skies, bad wiring, split-second choices. Stay with me till the end, because we're going to walk through the most unbelievable accident stories in rock, one name at a time. I'll keep it clear, simple, and human, and I want you to tell me in the comments which story hit you hardest. Watch all the way through so you don't miss the wild final twists and the tiny choices that changed everything. Cliff Burton's story hurts because it feels like pure bad luck. Metallica were on a European tour. It was late. The bus was moving fast. The road was cold. The driver said it hit ice. The bus slid, rolled, and threw the young bassist from his bunk. He was just getting started as a legend on his instrument, bending strings like a lead guitarist and pushing the band into new sounds. Friends say Cliff had won his bunk choice that night in a card game. One small win, then the worst loss. Fans still visit the spot, lay flowers, and thank him for the power and heart he brought to metal. Stevie Ray Vaughan had just finished a huge show on a big outdoor stage with friends and heroes. There was fog hanging low over the hills. The plan was simple: hop a helicopter back after the encore, for choppers lifted into the night. One never cleared the hill. The crash site was closed, painfully close to the venue. No drugs, no wild behavior, just bad weather, a dark ridge, and seconds that couldn't be taken back. He had fought his way to sobriety, rebuilt his life, and played like a man on fire. That last blues note still rings because the ending came so fast. Randy Rhoads was Ozzy's young guitar ace, a soft-spoken, focused player who practiced more than he partied. On a rest day, a small plane sat by the tour buses. A few people took quick buzzing rides for fun while a mechanic piloted. On a pass over the parked vehicles, the wing clipped the bus, the plane tore into a nearby house, and everything ended in an instant. Randy's solos changed metal guitar, and he was the opposite of the wild rocker image. The lesson here is simple and sad. One risky thrill, and a once-in-a-generation talent was gone. Keith Rell from the Yardbirds helped set the stage for hard rock. At home, he was playing guitar in his basement. The story goes that a faulty amp or poor grounding sent a deadly shock through his body. He didn't survive. It's a quiet, awful way to lose a musician, and it's why players still warn each other: check your cables, check your outlets. Don't play barefoot on a damp floor. A simple safety check could have saved a life that helped start so much of the music we love. Leslie Harvey of Stone, the Crows died on stage in front of a crowd. It had been raining. The stage was damp. He reached for a mic while holding his guitar, and the jolt hit hard. People thought it was part of the show for a second, then panicked. Live music is joy, but it also needs care and good gear. After that, many venues took grounding and stage safety more seriously. It's tragic that it took a death to force change. Mark Bolan of T-Rex never learned to drive because he was scared of car crashes. He still loved fast rides, pretty cars, and late-night trips through London. One night he rode with a loved one behind the wheel in a small car. The road curved, the car left the pavement, and a tree ended it. He was a passenger. He was also the glitter and groove of an era, and his loss changed the path of glam rock in a single bang. The roadside spot became a place of flowers and soft singing. Jeff Buckley was known for a voice that floated like smoke. On a warm evening in Memphis, waiting for bandmates, he stepped into the river with his clothes on, smiling, singing, and waiting near a channel where boats made wakes. A current pulled him under. The water looked calm. It wasn't. No alcohol or drugs made the moment happen. It was water, a pull, and a few minutes that turned a rising career into a ghost story. His cover of Hallelujah still feels like a message from beyond because of how he left. Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper booked a small plane to save time between winter dates. It was cold, windy, and late. The pilot was young. Minutes after takeoff, the plane hit a field, and 3 fresh voices were gone at once. The day the music died is more than a line in a song. It's a shockwave that still echoes. Each of those artists had a new sound in their hands. The hole they left has never closed. Eddie Cochran was a rebel with a grin who packed stinging riffs into tight rockers. After a show in England, he rode in a taxi with friends. The car lost control and hit a pole. Eddie didn't make it. He was only in his early 20s, yet his songs shaped the guitars that came after him. When people talk about what might have been, Eddie's name always lands near the top. Duane Allman built solos that felt like roads unfolding under your wheels. On his motorcycle in Macon, a truck turned ahead and Duane's bike went down. A year later, Barry Oakley, his bandmate and friend, died in another motorcycle crash just blocks away. To losses on the same streets tied to the same band. The Allman Brothers kept going, and the sadness in their playing became part of their sound. It's why those records feel like late summer dusk, sweet, long, and heavy with memory. Kirsty McCall wasn't a shredder, but she was rock in spirit, smart, sharp, and brave. On holiday with her sons in Mexico, she swam in a marked area. A speedboat cut through where it wasn't allowed. She pushed her child out of the path and took the hit. Fans remember her for wit and melody, but parents remember her for that last move. It was love in action, in the worst second. Jeff Buckley wasn't the only singer who went for a swim and didn't return. Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys drowned while diving in a marina years after fame. He had demons, yes, but the moment itself was water, cold, and time spent under the surface too long. Water does not care how many records you sold. Rockers learned that lesson again and again. Cozy Powell was a thunder drummer who powered bands with speed and style. A high-speed car trip went wrong. He was on the